Ahead of the big game tonight, former Arsenal winger Jermaine Pennant was alongside Jamie the Chunk on the sports bar last night. They looked ahead to Bayern against Arsenal tonight in the Champions League, live on talkSPORT. Jamie thinks the Gunners boss Arteta could be in trouble if his side go out tonight.
Does he come under pressure, Arteta, a little bit if he gets knocked out tomorrow and he's lost the league, or loses the league at the end of the season? Does he start to come under a bit of pressure now? He's spent a lot of money.
I think so. I think it will be looked at as the nearly man. Joe, the manager who nearly got it done, nearly won the league, nearly. But that's my guess at the moment.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a...
And that's how fans met. Yeah, I think he's had 5 years, spent a lot of money. I think, to nearly do this, I don't think the fans... Look, they've done great. Don't take it out. What they're doing is great. But, I don't think teams and fans and board want nearly.
Ali, have they been a bit harsh on Mikel?
That's harsh. I think that's very harsh. I think there's an improvement again in Arsenal this year. I ain't having all that patter about bottling it. I ain't having that at all. You know me, I don't like it. They were beaten by an excellent team at the weekend who are doing very, very well. I mean, you can lose games without bottling it. And I mean, the whole world's gone crazy with us bottling it tag. Arsenal were beaten by a very, very good team at the weekend, Alan. It's their first defeat since the new year. I think they won some 11 in a row. They drew nothing each at the Etihad. I think they're having a very good season. They've got a home draw against Bayern Munich, and they come over here for a very difficult tie. I definitely think there's been improvement again this year. So I would say no.
No, says Ali. 03717 223344. We're taking your calls this morning. Matt's an Arsenal fan. Matt, a very good morning.
Good morning, Matt.
Guys, how you doing?
Good, Matt. Good. How you feeling ahead of tonight?
Ask me tomorrow. So I was listening to Jamie O'Hara, and all I've got to say is he don't play for you no more, guys. Move on. He's left you. There's no victory for Tottenham if they beat us. If Arsenal get beat by Bayern Munich tonight, and that just shows you how far away Spurs are from actually winning a trophy. He's got the same allergic reaction to Silva as what the rest of Spurs fans have got.
So, what's your gut feeling then? Obviously the Harry Kane factor, Bayern at home, but Arsenal have got the tools, haven't they, to win this, go through?
I think if we come out the traps early, get a nice, easy goal at the start, you'll settle the nerves, but it could go the other way. They were good coming forward last week. Don't matter how many points behind they were, Leverkusen, 16 where it is. They absolutely flew last week and they came at us. And Sane, why they took him off, I don't know, because he was absolutely...
on fire. He was on fire, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, we'll see tonight, pal. Good luck. Yeah, what a game that was. Unbelievable. Mbappe on fire. Scored twice. Could have easily had a hat-trick as PSG thrashed Barcelona to turn around a first leg deficit and reach the semi-finals for the Champions League. They trailed 3-2 after the first leg in Paris, but reached the last four for the first time since 2021 after a chaotic encounter in Spain. Now, the Barcelona boss Xavi criticised the ref after the match, who sent off centre-back. He sent it back as well as the manager and some of his staff. So it all went pear-shaped towards the end. Join us now for more on this, European football expert Kevin Hatchard. Kev, morning.
Good morning,
Morning,
Kev.
guys. How are we?
What a game that was.
Yeah, it was a terrific game. And a lot of it did hinge on the sending off of Araujo. And I think, Ilkay Gundogan was very honest afterwards when he said they kind of got themselves into trouble. And if you don't get the ball and if you have contact with the man on the edge of the area, you're always in with a shot of being sent off. And I think they didn't quite deal with that, Barcelona. And Paris were methodical and they found a way through. It was funny, Mbappe got the 2 goals and got all the headlines. I didn't think he played particularly in a sparkling manner, but he got the job done when he needed to, put the penalty away. And then the goal at the end that kills them, really, they've done the hard part. It was a breakaway that Mbappe led. Ter Stegen made 2 brilliant saves and then 2 defenders get in each other's way and give the ball straight back to Mbappe. So Barcelona will look at it and think we've made some mistakes. Certainly Gundogan was scathing afterwards, and I think quite rightly because it was a big opportunity missed.
What do you think, Kev? I was just looking at. I mean, I watched the game, and to be honest, I had the other game on my phone, which I want to talk to you about. It was a brilliant game. But looking at it, I said to Al, am I wrong? I'm looking at PSG. Of course, they're capable of winning it, absolutely. But I just don't think they look as strong as perhaps the Madrid or as certainly Manchester City. Is that fair?
It is fair, but I'd take you back to last season because you looked at those two halves of the draw and we were all saying the same thing. Oh, well, the half that's got Manchester City in is the strongest. And then you look at the other one that had some of the Italian teams in. And I think the feeling was that whoever came out of City's half of the draw would win it. Now, in the end, that proved to be the case. But if you remember the final, Inter played very, very well in that final. If they'd been a bit more clinical in front of goal, could have been a totally different game. So over the course of the semi-final, if you look at what happened in the group stage, Paris outplayed Dortmund twice, both home and away. Dortmund got away with the draw and won the group in their home game, but in Paris, they were well beaten, really. And so if Paris do go through, yes, City would be favourites if City go through, and there's no guarantee that will happen.
Yeah.
But, you know, Paris would be in with a shot. And with Mbappe, you know how finals go. If it's going to be a really tight game, he could be the match winner.
What about Kev? Xavi's sending off. He's definitely leaving Barcelona, isn't he? End of the season. Has he got a future in the Premier League?
I did suggest afterwards on Twitter or X as it is now that he does need to calm that part of it down because it's too distracting. We see this a lot, that he's either looking really morose on the touchline or he's kicking off in the way that he did last night, and it kind of lets his team down a little bit because he was sent off and he can't help his team once he's been sent off. So I do think that's part of it that he has to fix. The other part of it is he is almost certainly leaving. He says he wants to go. Although in the build-up to this tie, João Laporta, the president, was talking about trying to persuade him to stay. So we'll see if they manage to twist his arm and get him to stay. But I think if he does come to the Premier League, you want passionate coaches, of course, but I do think it's a bit of his game that he probably needs to have a look at.
So, Kev, sorry, go on, Ali.
I was just going to say, Kev, moving on to that other game, man. What a game that was in Dortmund. Going 2-0. Oh, brilliant. I mean, I just summed it up, the Champions League. Going 2-0 up, 2 each win about 15, 20 minutes the second half. And in the space of 3 minutes, Dortmund go 4-2 up. Tell me a little bit about, was it the second goal? Was it Maatsen that scored the second goal? What a goal. He get in from the left-hand side, left foot finish, and also a brilliant header from the big centre-forward, Füllkrug.
Yeah, I think it was a terrific performance in the sense that they dug really deep, Borussia Dortmund, and it ended up being a really famous night, really famous win. But I think we saw their flaws as well. I think if you look at the way they crumbled a bit in the second half to get it back to 2-2, the own goal from Hummels is horrible, and I think he would admit that. And then they got opened up for Correa's goal. So there's a lot for them to do, but it saved their season getting this far because they have been hugely disappointing in the Bundesliga. It's lovely in the sense that Edin Terzic, the Dortmund coach, he was born 30 kilometres away from Dortmund, grew up a Dortmund fan. He would have been on the terraces for a night like this if he hadn't been the coach.
Yeah.
So it's just a real lift for the club, and it's one they needed because they're not guaranteed to make the Champions League next season.
Kev, just explain why. They wouldn't admit it, but there might be 1 or 2 Tottenham fans out there want Arsenal to win tonight. Why?
Because of this coefficient race that you've got at the moment. Yeah, it's an unusual situation, isn't it? So there will be an extra place in the Champions League for next season for either, we think, a German club or an English club. Italy are ahead. They're going to take one of the spots, and it's going to be down to England or Germany. So if Arsenal were to knock Bayern out, that would swing it back England's way because it's Germany who have the advantage at the moment. Of course, on Thursday is a really important clash between Leverkusen and West Ham as well.
Interesting. Kev, thank you. Enjoy tonight, mate.
Enjoy tonight, Kev.
Coming up,
guys.
What is the most dangerous animal in the world? I think I know the answer here. We'll find out next.
That's what we do here at talkSPORT. We make the news and we break the news.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.